Hello, you guys. It is Crystal Lopez here from crystalandcomp.com, and I have another grocery haul for you. This week, I have shopped at HEB, and I will tell you, I went in because of some of the loss leaders and because one of the meal deals that they have, and I ended up buying all my groceries there, which I'm sure is their plan. That's why they run these super awesome deals that they run, hoping that we will come in and spend our grocery budget there. So I'm gonna show you what I got. I spent $128.06 on groceries. I did spend, let's see, my original total was $145.52, but out of that I had 20 something dollars in things that were not coming out of the grocery budget. Like I needed another Scrub Daddy. I love these. I bought them in bulk at Costco a couple of years ago, and I finally used my last one. And I mean, I love them so much. I have used it until it is falling apart. I needed another one, so I grabbed one. I'm out of paper plates, so I grabbed them. I know I'm paying more at HEB for them, but it's okay. And then I needed 2 cans of pumpkin for dog food, and I needed some turkey, ground turkey for dog food. So I got 3 pounds of ground turkey. So all of that comes off of my grocery total because they don't come out of the grocery budget. My goal is to feed, we have 9 kids, but only 5 of them are still at home. Our goal is to feed everybody for the month for $700. So we've been doing pretty good, actually. Been shopping the deals, shopping the loss leaders. That's part of what has helped. I'm going to show you what I bought. I'm going to give you a really quick view. And then if you don't want to hear all the nitty gritty details where I tell you what I'm going to make and how I do it, then you're done. And this is a short video for you. But otherwise, I'm going to talk to you about what I'm going to make. And I'm going to show you the amazing meal deal that I got that I am so excited about. And it's a way to get convenience foods for super cheap. I ended up saving actually I saved $20 because I got 2 of them. I'm going to show you the details. Give me just a minute. Okay, so let's talk about everything bit by bit, shall we? So let's start with what took me into the store. So right now there is a current deal that ends, there's only 1 day left. I'm gonna sit down while I talk to you about this. There's only 1 day left for the deal. And I will tell you, before the beginning of this year, as you guys know, I did not do a bunch of grocery shopping I didn't follow the sales flyers. My way to save money was to buy in bulk, which is it works. But when you are on a tight budget, you can't buy everything in bulk. And so my main way to save money was to buy in bulk and then to meal plan. And meal planning does help you save money. But if you are really needing to shave down your grocery budget a lot, that's not going to be enough. So we were spending about anywhere between $1,200 and $1,500 a month on groceries. There's 7 of us. Again, let me reiterate that. And my kids are home all day long because we homeschool. So, and I have 3 teenagers, and my 11-year-old might as well be a teenager as well. We have breakfast, lunch, dinner. There's a lot going on at our house. And so meal planning and buying in bulk wasn't enough to cut it anymore. And I had to start shopping the sales flyers, and I had to start shopping multiple stores. So I started doing that in January and consistently, and I really have honed in on what are the things that are good to buy at each store, what the sales cycles look like. I've started using things like Ibotta and Fetch and shopping deals at CVS and Walgreens so that I can get detergent and cereal for cheap. But it's a whole bunch of things you need to do to save lots of money, okay? Well, if you're really needing to cut your budget in half, right? So one of the things that we live in the land of HEB. We are in San Antonio, and there are, 40 stores. There's one on every corner. On every corner, there's a Walmart, an HEB, a Walgreens, and a CVS here, okay? So I've really started, before I do my meal planning for the week, I check on Wednesday morning actually on Tuesday night, you can get a preview of the coming week's flyer. If you go to their site, click on savings, it'll take you to the flyer, view the flyer, and then it will say, if you look at across the top, it'll say preview next week's flyer or preview the next flyer. You can't do that until Tuesday. But the new flyer resets or comes out on Wednesday, okay? So one of the first things that I do each week is check that flyer to see what specifically what the meat deals are, because that's where I'm going to save the most money is with meat. So when they run their 99-cent meat sales, whether it's bone-in skin on thighs, drumsticks, or the chicken quarters that have the seasoning on them, they alternate the sales where they've got the barbecue and they've got the lemon pepper. I stock up on that stuff. So I call that spec buying. Years ago, I worked in the pharmaceutical world. I worked for McKesson in the late 90s and early 2000s. I worked there for about 7 years and until I had my twins, and then I became a stay-at-home mom. And one of the ways that McKesson makes their money is from spec buying, or it used to be. I don't know what they do now, but that's how they did it. So they would buy super cheap because there has to be a middleman for pharmaceuticals. So you can't just go, Walmart can't just go to Bayer and buy. I know this is off topic, but it matters. So there has to be a middleman. So McKesson buys the pharmaceuticals from Bayer and they sell it to Walmart. Well, they would spec buy. So they would buy when they knew that it was low and stock up on it, knowing that in 6 months it was going to go high, and they would sell it for the regular price, right? So, or the higher price. So I'm like, all right, how do I apply that with groceries? So you've got to spec buy. You've got to pay attention. I'm not selling my groceries, but you've got to pay attention to what is on sale and stock up on as much of that as you can as possible when it's on sale. So I do that with chicken. I have a freezer full of all the chicken that goes on sale. Or if I'm at Walmart, and they have a clearance that is, I bought a bunch of ground turkey on clearance at Walmart back in, I think it was May. I stock up on that. If I can find it on clearance and it's expiring today, I bring it home, I put it in the freezer, and we have a nice stockpile of it. So that's part of why you don't see as much meat in my hauls. Somebody made a comment like, oh, I know those teenagers are starving. And I think they were kidding. But I do want to say, I have a freezer full of meat, okay? So there's that. But back to what I was talking to you about. So they've got loss leaders, which are the things that the grocery store puts on sale so that you will come in and then they know they're going to lose on it, but you're going to do other shopping and buy other things while you're there, right? But something that HEB does, which HEB is such an incredible grocery store, something that they do is they do these meal deals, okay? I think that's what it's called. Simple meals, I think it's meal deals. So you buy this and you get this for free. So since January, I've paid attention to the sales and to the loss leaders, but I've just started paying attention to these meal deals now. I just really started paying attention to them. And here's why, because a lot of times it's convenience food. And I know that convenience food costs a lot of money, and I don't want to pay a lot of money if I'm trying to cut down on my budget, convenience foods have to go. But let me tell you, this deal was too good to be true. And now I regret not paying attention to this more. So they actually this is what I went into the store for. And then I was like, I might as well, while I'm here, just go ahead and buy the rest of our groceries for the week. So I did that. They got me, right? But I know I saved. My receipt says that I saved $30.38. I've used multiple coupons throughout the store. I'm going to tell you about all of them, but let me tell you about this deal. So if you bought 2 of these, and it could either be the HEB brand or the Mi Tienda brand, which is this right here. So they have a meat brand as well. Remember I told you about this brand? They make the fajita meat. Okay, they also have some stuff like this, right? Sorry, I gotta go. My nails, that's another story. Okay, so they also have things like this that are already fully cooked. So this week's deal is you buy 2 of these and you can mix and match. So I got, initially I got the ground beef and the shredded chicken. And I really, really wanted the poblano chicken, but I had 2 of the kids with me and they were like, Mom, can we please get ground beef? So I got a ground beef and then I got a chicken. I knew this would be safe, right? Totally safe. But when I was walking through the rest of the store, they had a lady set up that was giving up samples of this stuff right here, the shredded chicken. And we got to talking, and I said, well, are you allowed to buy 2 of the meal deals? And she said, yes, you can buy as many as you want. So I thought, well, I might as well get a second meal deal. She said, listen, the poblano chicken is the best. And I said, that's what I really wanted. But my kids were like, Mom, can we please just get ground beef? And then I wanted basic shredded chicken. So Sandra at HEB, you are amazing. She talked me into it. She was out of the samples of this, but she said it was incredible. So I can't wait to use this. But here's what you get. So you buy 2 of these, okay? So they were $7.49 a piece except for the taco meat, and it was $8.99. Hold on. Okay, so the plain chicken was $7.49. So the 2 plain chickens were $7.49 a piece. This was $8.99. The poblano was $7.99. So the poblano chicken was 50 cents more than the regular chicken, okay? So you buy 2 of these. So let's say that we buy these 2 right here, these 2 shredded chickens, okay? That's gonna be $14.98, okay? Then with that, you get all of these things for free. You get 1 of these to make tostadas for dinner. You get 1 of these, and they had multiple flavors that you could choose from. You get 1 of these to put on your tostadas, refried beans. I love the HEB brand refried beans. And you get a bag of lettuce, okay? Well, guess what? They were sold out of the lettuce because this deal was so crazy. So the lettuce I was supposed to get was half this size. So they were subbing it for a bag of spinach. But I didn't realize this, and you have to do everything just right. You know how I've told you guys about that? So really, this is not the right size. So this they would have had to have charged me full price for this. But when I got to the checkout, I had this bag, not realizing I had the wrong size, and they were giving out spinach in lieu of the lettuce, which I learned about that when I went and tasted the sample and asked the lady about the poblano chicken, whatever. So I went to get a second deal. So here's the second deal, okay? And which gives me another one of these and another salsa and another this, okay? And it came with a bag of spinach. Well, when I got to the checkout, they were like, oh, you bought the wrong size of this. I said, this is all that you had, but I am getting 2 deals, and they gave me the spinach in lieu of the second lettuce. So how about we get rid of the spinach, and since this is double, this would be for 2 of I'm buying 2 of the deals. And the guy was like, that's acceptable, totally fine. Now, that's gonna, this is gonna depend on, it's at the discretion of the cashier. So they don't always do stuff like that, but I have a feeling he was trying to figure out the best way to address it. And the people that had been in line before me, they were dealing with the same situation. There was no lettuce, and they didn't know that you could get spinach in lieu of. So like now we're backing up. The line's getting backed up because of this deal. The lady that had the samples, she said this is selling out and I believe it. This is what we're having for dinner tonight. So for $14.98, okay, for the 2 chickens, you get lettuce, tostadas, a salsa, and a refried bean for free. This is dinner. This is a whole dinner right here done for you. That's $10 and some change in free stuff. I think it's $10.22 in free stuff. But I got 2 of them, so I got $20 and some change in free stuff. How amazing is that? I am probably gonna make 3 packages of this for dinner tonight. I will probably do the poblano chicken and the ground beef, and then maybe one of the regular chickens. And then I'll save the other chicken for another night for nachos or for a lunch for nachos. But I'm starving. This is what we're having for dinner. I've got 7 people to feed tonight, and that's what I'm gonna do, okay? That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So these deals, yes, I got $20 worth of stuff for free, and it's all stuff that we will use and we will eat. I know that was a long story. I hope that you stayed with me. I hope that it makes sense. If you see this deal, you need to grab it. It was awesome. And she told me at Easter and Christmas are the best meal deals. So I'm gonna start not only looking at the loss leaders, but I'm gonna start looking at these deals. Usually I glaze right over them, but not anymore. I am a believer now, okay? All right, really quick, let me tell you, I had 2 kids with me at the store. They're drinking water. They really wanted some electrolytes, but somehow we ended up looking at this. So I allowed Jack to get this, and I allowed Luke Henry to get this to put in his water. I know, not the best choices. I know, but they were braving the grocery store with me. So Jack's waiting to put this in his water. So Jack, you want to get this and make yourself a water? Here you go. You can have it. All right, so those are to go in water so that they And then they drink water without it as well, but there you go. All right, I did grab a milk. We use milk and cereal. I bought in May and June, or maybe it was just June, I bought a bunch of cereal for, goodness, what did I end up paying for that? I paid $1.88, no, it was $1.49 a box for some and $1.38 a box for others. I bought probably 50 boxes of cereal, and we still have quite a bit. We don't have cereal every day for breakfast, and I'm not a fan of cereal every day. But guys, when you're trying to stick to a tight budget, you either have time or money. And if you don't have money, you better have time to go and find the deals. So those were deals that CVS had some of the deals, Walgreens had some of the deals. They were over the course of like a 4-week period of time, and I just stocked up. If you don't want to feed your kids cereal, don't feed your kids cereal. We know that it has sugar in it. Like, those are common sense things that we all know, right? Again, we don't eat it every day, but we have it on hand. So I needed more milk for cereal. You've heard me talk about orange juice prices, and I know that this is not traditional orange juice, but Sunny D was on sale, $3 and some change. Normally it's $5 and some change, but either way, it is cheaper than Walmart has that almost a gallon of orange juice, and it's almost $8. It's like $7.94, $3.28. This was $3.28. So there you go. I grabbed some Sunny D so that they could have that. And then I did also grab this thing of apple juice, and then we have water. So there you go. Some kids like chocolate milk too, so that's what that will be used for as well. I needed onions, so I grabbed this thing of onions. I grabbed some radishes. I'm gonna use these on, maybe on some tostadas, but also on some sheet pans. These apples were on sale for 97 cents a pound. These are the cosmic apples, so we got 2, 4, 5 of them, which was a total of $3.16. And let me tell you, something I love. One thing I do love about taking bigger or little kids to the store with me, especially in the produce area, they can help you get these things. So I tell them, you know, I'm gonna get this right here. Now, can you get this right here? They're not like, you know, way out of my sight or anything. But so Luke Henry picked out 4 avocados for us. So he was able to handle that. I asked Luke Henry to pick out the cilantro while I was getting the tomatoes. So he did that. Like, as much as I don't love taking kids to the store because it can be distracting and they want to put stuff in the cart, these can be learning opportunities for them to help you get things, but also to see the prices and understand. I mean, it's a homeschool trip, you know? They're getting to see what the prices are. They're getting to see why we're having to stick to a budget so much. They're like, wow, cookies are $5. They can't believe it, right? So they get it. They understand. I did grab this thing of tomatoes. So I will use these on sheet pans, but I will also use them on tostadas for dinner. And you don't have to have these for tostadas, but I did grab them. What is here for the tostadas is enough for dinner, right? But I wanted to add some tomatoes to the top. I did grab a 5-pound bag of russet potatoes, and those were $2 and some change. Where is it? $2.97. I love when those go on sale for $1.47 or $1.49. That's always really nice. Okay. I did go ahead and grab 2 more cans of refried beans because we will use those. I like a lot of beans on my chalupas, so we'll need that. All right, then tomato basil soup. Luke Henry really wanted some tomato basil soup to have for one of our lunches this week, so we will do that. And then if you bought that, you got a cooking sauce for free. So I grabbed this, and I'm eager to use this to make a side. I will let you know how it is. It looks really delicious. There were lots of options. That's the one that I grabbed. Okay, then we wanted some hummus to go with our lunches as well on another day. So we grabbed this hummus, and then I grabbed this one. And then we've got some vegetables that we can dip it in. We've got pretzels. And then I also grabbed some of these as well to dip in our hummus. HEB bread, the butter bread, is very comparable to the Nature's Own. And this was 50 cents off. They had a 50-cent off coupon, so that was awesome. Lenny, I did not get to make my red beans and rice a couple of weeks ago. I've still got to make it. I'm going to make it this week. Actually, we are missing a purple onion in the car. This is reminding me I don't see my purple onion. Can you run to the car and try to find it? It must have come out in the back. So I needed a purple onion again, and I needed sausage because Lenny used my sausage to make breakfast tacos. This is not for breakfast tacos. Let me just make a note of that, okay? But whatever. So I needed to grab another one, and I will make sure to use this really quickly before it gets used for something else. We needed eggs, so I've got 36 eggs here. We like scrambled eggs, fried eggs. We like to use it on French toast. We like to boil eggs. We go through some eggs, as you can imagine. Okay, Jack and Luke Henry, they got to pick 2 ramens themselves that they wanted. They were 27 cents a piece. Luke Henry got a pork and a beef. Jack got 2 of these chicken flavor. Original. Chicken original. And then I did grab this small 6-pack so that teenagers could have that as well. And I'll tell you, I really hate buying, because I know I can get that at Sam's for so much cheaper, but whatever. Here we are. It is what it is. Now, let me show you the chicken that I bought. I want to give this a try. So those are the things that don't come out of my grocery budget. You can get bone-in, skin-on chicken breasts for $1.98 a pound. And then you can debone them and deskin them yourself. And I've watched some YouTube videos on how to do it. So this is 4 huge chicken breasts that I got for $9.78. This is almost 5 pounds worth of chicken breast. So 2 chicken breasts will feed my whole family if we're making a soup or a casserole. So that's what I plan to do with this. I've got until the 3rd to get this processed and do whatever I'm gonna do with it. I might even use some of it and grind it to make ground chicken. So I will let you know how this goes, but I think this is a really inexpensive option for buying chicken, and I'll let you know how we like it or if it's too much of a pain, all right? So there you have it. These are our groceries for the week. We're gonna have some chicken stuff. We're gonna have red beans and rice with sausage. We're going to have tostadas. I've got chicken thighs laid out that are bone-in, skin-on. I will make those tomorrow night for dinner. They're thawing in the fridge, and I will probably use this creamy Parmesan well, actually, I will probably serve this with a pasta. So I will do the chicken with broccoli tomorrow night and mashed potatoes. It will take an entire 5-pound bag of potatoes to make mashed potatoes for my family. Plus we have so much stuff. We've got chicken legs that I need to barbecue. So we'll have that one night for dinner. We'll do those chicken thighs in the oven and bake them or out on the grill. We will take leftovers and make, there it is. He found it. Good job.
It was in the very back in the one corner I didn't check.
Was there anything else?
No.
Did you double check?
Yes.
Okay, because we don't want
The
things
forbidden corner.
The forbidden corner.
The
Okay.
onion corner.
The onion corner. Well, there's that. I'm glad I remembered. What was I saying? So we'll take leftovers and make a fried rice one night. We are always doing things, okay? We are always making food here, and we're good at it. All right. And then I'll probably use one of these to make nachos one night. So there you have it. All right, guys, I got to get dinner going. I am starving. My kids are starving. We are all starving. I've got some bread in the freezer that is that baroche bread, or however you say it.
Bread.
That I bought on clearance at Walmart like a month and a half ago, and I froze it because it was expiring. I will use that to make French toast and bacon one night for dinner. We've got all kinds of things. We could have eggs and pancakes, like whatever. We've got all the stuff. So there you have it. I know that was a lot of information to share with you, but I hope that it helps you. I hope that you are able to walk away with something and that it helps to solve a problem or a struggle for you, and that you're able to save on your grocery budget. I want to inspire you to really pay attention to the loss leaders, pay attention to the things that are on sale. The things that I still buy in bulk right now. So I used to have a Costco and a Sam's membership. And at the end of March, when my membership at Costco expired, as much as I love it and I miss it so much, I really miss it. I haven't renewed because I can't justify having a membership right now at both when I'm trying to save so much money. I canceled a lot of my memberships. I canceled Grove. I canceled all kinds of things. Anyway, so the things that I do still buy in bulk, I buy them at Sam's, and it's things like my butter, because you can get it so much cheaper in bulk. I buy my rice. I usually buy potatoes in bulk, onions in bulk, but I buy rice in 25-pound bags. I buy my beans, my black beans, and my pinto beans. Things like that we buy in bulk at Sam's. So it makes the Sam's membership still worth it to us, but we're just doing all the things that we can do to save money. All right, guys, I'm gonna make dinner for my family. We are starving. Leave a comment below. Let me know some of your best grocery budget saving tips. I wanna know, others wanna know. And I would love to know what you have budgeted for your grocery budget each month, okay? All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.